One of the things that I love about having black hair is the variety. From waves, curls, dreadlocks, there's pretty much an endless amount of styles and variations. But what happens when you try to switch from one to the other? What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel, where I help black teens better understand and embrace their natural curly hair. In today's video, we're going over 3 mistakes that wavers make when converting to curls. The timestamps will be down below, so without further ado, let's hop into it. But first, why should you take advice from me? In fact, wash and goes are actually my weakest skill. So what do I know about curls? Well, this is actually my first wash and go. It's pretty bad, right? I had no clue what I was doing, but through sheer determination, I was able to take my wash and goes from looking like this to looking like this. A drastic improvement. But why am I showing you this? I know how frustrating it can feel. Not only that, this forced me to learn the hard lessons through sheer trial and error, and not just feed you some BS that I found on the internet. So now that you've heard my story and my struggle, let's hop straight into the first mistake, which is shampooing too often. I know. As a waver, you missed the lather, but it's really important that we understand the true purpose behind shampooing. The purpose of shampoo is to rid your hair of any dirt or product that may have built up throughout the week. However, shampooing too often can strip your hair of its natural oils, notably sebum, which is responsible for keeping your hair and scalp moisturized. This can place a lot of stress onto your hair, and as a general rule of thumb, we kind of try to avoid destroying our hair on this channel. So if you're coming straight out of the elite wavers club, then you should know that it's much more important to focus on conditioning your hair rather than using shampoo. At the beginning of my natural hair journey, my attention was completely focused on wash day. Like, you don't understand how serious. My YouTube recommendations was filled with just curly hair routines. King Brill, Juwan Gaines, Kid Sheldy, everyone. And because I was so excited, I was always experimenting. But why am I telling you this? Well, I was actually putting way more stress onto my hair than needed. And because every curly hair routine requires a clean canvas, I was shampooing way more than recommended. And I'm sure a lot of you may have the same mindset. So I want you to look back and ask yourself, have I been putting way more stress onto my hair than is actually necessary? Because just like waves, curls need maintenance. But there's a very thin line between maintenance and manipulation. The second mistake that wavers make when converting to curls is abusing the do-rag. I know, force of habit, right? But when it comes to making your curls pop, the do-rag actually becomes a burden as opposed to an asset. Don't get me wrong, the constant force and tension applied to your scalp is perfect for braids. However, the do-rag's limitations become painfully clear when faced with volume. If you don't want your curls to appear flat, I strongly suggest that you take advantage of the bonnet as opposed to the do-rag. I actually cover this topic in greater detail in one of my previous videos. 4 hair growth secrets that your girlfriend has been hiding from you. So if you don't want to miss out on those tips, I strongly suggest that you go and watch that video after you finish this one. Before we continue to the third and final mistake, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to give it a like. I post men's Afro hair content just like this every single week. I'm also very active on Instagram, where you can find everything that didn't make it to YouTube. The links to all my socials will be down in the description. The third mistake that a lot of wavers make when converting to curls is detangling too often. One thing that you'll learn throughout your entire natural hair journey is that the curly hair game does not reward over manipulation. A lot of you may be used to frequently brushing your hair throughout the day, but this does not carry over to detangling. In fact, applying that principle to curly hair is one of the worst things that you can do. Frequently picking your hair when it's dry can cause extreme breakage, and in some cases can make it seem like your hair isn't even growing. This is why so many people believe that there's actually a ceiling or a cap on Afro hair growth, but trust me, there's not. You're simply breaking off your hair faster than it can grow. I like to think of it this way. Curly hair maintenance is like telling a good joke. Sometimes you gotta let it breathe in order for it to thrive. But overdoing it will definitely kill it. And there you have it. Those were 3 hair mistakes that a lot of wavers make when converting to the curly hair gang. But before you go, let's do a quick recap to reinforce what you've learned. First, we talked about the effects of shampooing too often and how it can dry out your scalp and leave your hair feeling dry and brittle. Secondly, we talked about the do-rag's limitations when it comes to volume and how the bonnet is a better option for curls. In fact, I actually offer masculine bonnets. so that other guys can protect their hair and their pride at the same time. The link for those will be down in the description. And lastly, we covered the negative effects of detangling your hair too often, as it can rip out your hair strands and make it seem like your hair isn't growing at all. If you found any value in this video, please leave a like. It really helps the algorithm bring my videos to the right people. Next time, I'm going to be covering 5 retention tips that can save you inches of hair growth every year. So if you don't want to miss that video, make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button. That's all for me, and I'll see you next time.